was just even more stripped down. It was her like, just doing a couple of keyboard strokes, that were just so
Right, right.
effective. And then you had her two musicians that were, the guy on just doing a little kind of, you know, pluck of the string here, getting
On the
that bass
guitar,
guitar
yeah, on
sound.
both,
Yeah.
on
You
bass
know,
too.
and then you had the drummer. That's her drummer. That's always goes, everywhere. With her, and he's sitting on like whatever that contract thing, and he's just kind of like doing that bump, bump, and just everything put together. It was just kind of eerie. It was powerful, and it was her voice, and she just, she was singing. She was living those words. She was living that experience. It's a sad song. It's really about loss and you know trying to trying to deal with that,
Mhm.
and she just was absolutely pouring herself right into that, and it's just
Well, that's
powerful.
one. Hey, welcome back to Into the Music. I'm here with Greg. My name is Chris, and Greg, you've got something for me to react to. Tell me about it.
I do, and I'm going to make a lot of people happy out there because we've gone a little bit extra longer than usual with giving you or us. Actually, it was either of us, right? Reacting to Aurora. It's not just been your ride; it's been our ride.
Right, right.
So Aurora, I felt like it's time. So
It's Aurora time.
get your Aurora hat on.
It's like Miller time. It's like Miller time.
Middle time. I'm gonna give you a song called Teardrop
Okay,
by Aurora, and
okay.
nothing else, no more other information. I'm gonna
Oh,
play
come on.
your game.
Now I'm kind of wanting. No, it's okay.
I'm
It's all
gonna
right.
play your
Tell me
game
later.
now, right? You
Tell
don't
me
like it,
later.
huh? Yeah, touche.
I
All
approach it with a pristine ears.
right, go check it out. Come on back.
Okay. Okay, just a little explanatory note before I begin. I had already reacted to this song, but I reacted to both the video and the audio. And unfortunately, when we posted the video to YouTube, it got blocked due to copyright issues. So I'm going to react to it again, but this time only to the audio part of it. So when we get to our discussion part of the song, we're just keep in mind that we're discussing the version that had both the audio and the video. Not much is going to be out of sync with that. We might mention something about the video in our discussion, but it's pretty minor, so it shouldn't really affect anything. So I do recommend that if you want to see the whole thing, with the video and the audio, just look around YouTube. It's pretty easy to find. And without further ado, I will start my second listen.
I'm bursting with information, but I'm gonna stop because I gotta first find out. Did you like it?
Oh, I loved it, man. Yeah. I would say, yeah, out of the songs we did, yeah, this is up there to me with uh, Life on Mars,
Yeah. Okay.
Murder Song,
Yeah.
and I would say those are the biggest. Oh, and Famous Blue Raincoat. Now I'm wondering because like half of the songs we've done of hers were covers. Is this one of her originals?
It's a cover. It
Okay.
it's the song. Now I'm gonna like a damn.
You couldn't. You're barely holding on.
Okay, I'm done. So
I think you're nasty.
this is the song that got it all going. If I did not come across the song on YouTube, not saying we wouldn't have found out about her at some point, but
Well,
we wouldn't have had like what 5 songs in already,
I wonder if
and
anybody at some
yeah,
point would have recommended
maybe,
something to her through another thread,
yeah,
a thread
yeah,
for another song if we
yeah.
hadn't you hadn't
So
initiated it.
so where do I try to lasso myself in? Because I could sometimes go all over the place. But so this song is a cover from a group. Wikipedia identifies Massive Attack. That's the group as a trip hop, an English trip hop group. So they were pretty big in the '90s.
Trip
And they
hop.
put a few albums out,
Mhm.
and it's like, from my understanding, it's like a group, a project.
Mhm.
Get a one or two people that were like the mainstays, whatever, of the band, of the group. So they put this song out. It was released by them in 1998 from their third studio album called Mezzanine. So again, Massive Attack was the group. The album was Mezzanine, and it had this song Teardrop. So it was the opening theme song for. Well, actually, I'm going to pull that back. So it was first developed. I think it's really interesting, like the history, and we'll get into the performance, because that's, we'll save the best for the last. But it was first developed by Massive Attack as a harpsichord sort of riff, and then it was sent as a demo over to Madonna, because they were thinking, hey, Madonna, could put her vocals to this. This would be really cool.
What year? What year are you talking about?
This was I believe in 1997 was when this song was sort of conceptualized,
Yeah.
like the rhythm, and then they were thinking about a song and fleshing it out and giving it to Madonna, and she was pretty. I think she revived her career. She was doing some that sort of electro techno kind of stuff too, her on her own.
Yeah.
So they sent the
Yeah.
demo over to her. My understanding is that she was really interested, but then it really came down to her or to Elizabeth Fraser of the Cocteau Twins. And so they gave it to Elizabeth. And it's interesting because now I'm not sure if she was also, if Madonna was to write the song as well, write it and then sing it. Like, here's that demo, here's the rhythm, go put words and then sing. And I say that because Elizabeth wrote the song.
Who's Elizabeth?
Elizabeth Fraser of the Cocteau
Oh, you
Twins.
did mention that. Yeah,
She's the one who wound up singing the song and like putting her name to that. Right. Now she wrote the song. I'm just not sure if Elizabeth was always going to write the song and then it was going to be Madonna singing, or they just said, you know what, Elizabeth, write it and also sing. So, people out there who sort of have knowledge to like how it all went down, please fill in the blanks. That would be great. That said, Elizabeth Fraser actually was going out with Jeff Buckley at the time.
Okay.
Jeff Buckley, right? You know him. Yeah. Yeah. So, so she wrote the lyric. My understanding is that she wrote the lyrics before he passed away, right? He drowned, tragic. But quoted from Fraser, I got letters out and I was thinking about him. That song's kind of about him. That's how it feels to me anyway. So again, my understanding is that she already wrote the lyrics and that when he passed, she was actually in the recording studio, laying down the tracks. So, and like, when you think about, when you go to the lyrics, Black Flowers Blossom, Fearless on My Breath, Water is My Eye, most faithful mirror. Just some of the lines in that, it's just so powerful.
Again, I wasn't listening to the lyrics.
Right, okay.
But with her, I got a good excuse with her because it just gets that mesmerizing.
She could have been singing blah 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 blah.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
A blah blah song.
Well, because that's how, right? It's just her. Just the way she would just kind of, just effectively put. There's a technical term, right? So maybe you could jump in, but like, how you basically with the stick shift, when you're singing, you're kind of in, out, you just control it and stuff. She just had complete control of that whole song. She made that song. Now, Elizabeth Fraser's performance, right? I would definitely ask you to go check it out, or maybe we'll even try to react to that one. But that said, because Elizabeth Fraser's performance, her vocal performance on that is fantastic. So to me, the bar was raised so high. Mm-hmm. That's why I find it astounding that I was so taken by Aurora's performance. I was on YouTube one day and I was just kind of, I don't know if YouTube said, "Hey, Aurora," or I was into, I don't know. You kind of click on something, and then all of a sudden it's like a domino.
Very far from
and somehow I'm like, oh, a Teardrop cover, by Massive Attack. I love that song, all right, I'll check it out. And I was just
cool.
Amazed
for us.
And so the bar was like, whoa, up there high, and I didn't give that song. I was going to give that to you as the first one. Mm-hmm. But then when I listened to that, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, do I pull back and I try to get Chris involved and we do, or do I just go full in? So I kind of went full in, sorry. But then I went full in on the covers. I think I had told you this. So I went in full in on the covers because I kind of realized, oh, she did a lot of covers of Dylan and Cohen and this and that. But she also has originals. Let me really focus in on the covers. And that's when I discovered the David Bowie one. And I was like, and I know you love David Bowie. I'm like, I'm going to make that the first one. And so, I'm kind of glad the way it worked out, because this one, I actually think this sits at the top of everything else. Everything that we've done. Yeah.
I can't argue with that. It's on a par with some others I've heard.
It's a tight cluster.
Top,
It's a tight cluster. Like everything that's up there, everything is like almost like, like a real kind of dark black lines all together. Like everything's all just jammed together. Like not one song is really separated from itself, from another one. But I would really have to put this, this was the one that just, put me on the map, put us on the map. And, and also I always loved that song. And I just, her voice, the simplicity, the sound that they got out of that studio.
Wait. When you say simplicity, what do you mean? The instrumentation?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Because her voice, that wasn't simple with her voice. And I was thinking when you're talking about the voice.
Oh, the sound. Right. Because
she can jump between, these big intervals.
Yeah.
The voice.
I'm thinking about the song. I'm thinking about the whole song. I'm thinking about the Massive Attack version. Where they had all these different sounds. I mean, their version wasn't like chock full of crazy stuff, but that said, this was just even more stripped down. It was her like, just doing a couple of keyboard strokes, that were just so effective. And then you had her two musicians that were, the guy on just doing a little kind of, pluck of the string here, getting that bass guitar sound. Too. And then you had the drummer, that's her drummer that's always goes, everywhere with her. And he's sitting on like whatever, that contract thing. And he's just kind of like doing that bump, and just everything put together. It was just kind of eerie. It was powerful. And it was her voice, and she just, she was singing, she was living those words. She was living that experience. It's a sad song, it's really about, loss. And trying to deal with that, and she just was absolutely pouring herself right into that, and it just powerful.
Well, that's one of the things that makes her stand out too. Is she put so much emotion into it. You would think she wrote something she wrote and was a personal experience. The way she emotes. So that's definitely an attraction too.
And so even this
was good, man. I'm really.
Oh yeah, and also like because you saw that live performance, right? Like a couple times she would like kind of like do her hand like a
Yeah,
sort of like
I
did
was
this.
liking that. Like the thing she does with her hands.
Yeah, even that like
It's interesting.
yeah, like you'll hear like the first time I'm listening, and again, the song always does something to me. It just definitely
It's
touches
almost
me.
like she's conducting. Yeah.
And yeah, and then I'm watching her, and I'm like at the first I'm remembering the first time, and I'm like, this girl's got me right. And then all of a sudden, she does this kind of like a conductor, and I found that interesting. I'm like, she's
Well,
in
you know what it is.
control.
You know what it is. She's a dancer too, and I think from what I've seen in another video of hers, it's kind of this free form kind of thing that she
Yeah.
does, kind of like
Yes.
modern dance, I guess you would call it.
Yes.
So I guess
That's a
she
good.
could even look at her hand, as part of
Yeah.
that, her hand and arm movements. So she's the whole,
And the facial
the
expression
whole
too.
presentation.
There were a couple times, especially one time where the camera was on her eyes, and her eyes kind of like went up, and even like at the moment that whatever she was singing, like it just was like I don't know, just even
Well
that
fit.
match, yeah, it just fits. It
Yeah.
was like again talking about how she was into the song. I can go on and on. I just love it. It is since I've listened to that version, I came across it. It's definitely on a playlist. It's definitely something that I will at certain times I'll just go and I'll just I gravitate right to that song. Can have a bad day, a little
Uh-huh.
stressed out, or I could even be in a great mood.
We need those kinds of songs for our bad days.
Yeah, but even if I'm feeling, because then it's like, well, it's a sad song. Yeah, but her performance it actually fills me up. Just fills my spirit up. For someone to just have such a rich performance like that of a song that I just love. I just think, you know, um, uh, melodically, I mean, it's just a beautiful song. I just think that that song created back in the 90s, Elizabeth, it's just a gorgeous song. I'm not sure if you're aware, but this song was used as the opening theme song for House, right? That
I didn't
US
watch
doctor
House.
show. No.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Okay.
House. So
Yeah.
I've never heard this before.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I remember I used to watch that show. English actor Hugh Laurie was Dr.
Yeah, he's
Gregory
a
House.
musician too. You know,
Really?
he put out a blues album I had listened to years ago.
Wow. Wow. All right. Cool. All right. It's good. Yeah, good, man. I'm really glad you enjoyed this
I
performance, man.
did. I
Cool.
really
All
did. Yeah.
right. And we hope that everyone out there listening, watching us, really enjoyed this as well. And if you did, hit the like button. And, I think everyone out there is already subscribed to us, right? Like 5,000 people,
Everybody,
10,000, a
the whole
million.
world, man.
But if you're sitting there going, wait a minute, I haven't subscribed yet. Well, there you
All
go.
the cool kids are
Feel
doing it.
free. um, and also, if you want a Aurora song, because sometimes that we do our best to really try to get to a lot of the bands and music, because that's what we do here. We grow, we're bursting out of a bubble, and we're really so it takes a while sometimes to get to the next song, by Aurora or other bands. So there's a song that you want us to listen to, there's a line right beneath the hashtags below the song title here, and go check it out. And all I'm going to say is maybe buy Chris and myself a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm
And
having caffeine withdrawals, man.
and that's all I'll say. And again, we really appreciate your viewership. And that said, Chris, have a good day, and we'll see everyone on the next episode of Into the Music.